Hello and welcome to today's webinar and live demo, How to Style an Email in 5 Minutes, Part 2. We're excited to show you the email editor, drag and drop editor, that will allow you to create professional looking emails in a short period of time. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer. I'm a Strategic Insights Manager. I'm an author, speaker, and podcast host. Above and beyond what I do here at Campaigner, I love social media, anything that's digital. I love to work with it. I have about 20 years experience in sales and marketing, and I've been dubbed the digital marketing infotainer because I love to make marketing fun and successful. Today, you'll be the judge of that. Feel free to hop on social media and follow me or connect with me. I'm joined today by Alexa Ariola. She's our product visionary. She works at the intersection of tech and design to build visually impactful solutions. Her creativity is rivaled by only her passion for a seamless user experience. She is here today to show us how to use the drag and drop editor, and as well, I'm going to give her a little challenge on building a professional looking email template that I'm going to choose ahead of time and see how it looks and see if she can do it on time. Alexa, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to show you guys the new editor and how easy it is to use. And I definitely think that my goal of today is after this webinar, you guys feel excited and empowered to actually, start creating emails using this drag and drop editor if you haven't already. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous for this challenge, but Hank and I have a good time, so it should be fun.
Yeah,
Thanks,
definitely.
Hank.
Yeah, we had Chad join us last time, and I felt it was unfair to challenge him again for a second webinar. But we got some great feedback on the first version of this webinar, and people said they wanted to see it again because I guess they did not believe that you can create a professional looking email in a short amount of time. And Alexa's going to show you that you can do just that. And with that, let's take a look at today's agenda and what we're going to do. What we want to do is take a look around and show you the editor, show you what it can do and how you can use it. And then also we want to let you know how you can obtain any assistance if you start using the editor and you run into any challenges and can't figure something out. We want to let you know how to get some help, get those emails done, get them out the door, because that's why you use an email product, right? Is you want to get emails out, you want to start making money, you want to nurture your leads, you want to develop relationships with your subscribers, right? And with that, today's agenda is going to be basically looking at the editor and the features it has to offer, going through the demo of the product, and then the challenge, the special challenge we have, and then offer you the information that you can notate down in case you do need that expert help. When it comes to the editor, it's been fully overhauled. It now has drag and drop functionality. You can start with a layout that we provide, or you could build your own layout from scratch using the modular blocks that we provide. And what's really cool is you can move, copy, and delete rows and blocks on the fly to create the look that you want in your email. We also have a photo editor. You can apply visual effects, crop and rotate all your videos for a completely custom look. You can even add text to your images, as well as use like Instagram style filters to make them look the way you want to in your email. And then also get inspired by some of the seasonal themes and templates that we're going to offer you so you could jump in, get started, get something out the door. And we're excited to say coming soon, we're going to have a template management interface with categorization, grid, and gallery view. And what we want to do is basically give you a more efficient way to manage your templates and content for the drag and drop editor. We also want you to be able to copy campaigns from drag and drop to our full email editor to support advanced final edits if HTML is your thing. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Alexa. She's going to dive into the editor, show us around how you use it a little bit, then we'll move on to the next section.
All right. So we're gonna start on the dashboard, and to access the new editor, I will click over here to new email campaign. And you guys will see here that there's this new option for the drag and drop editor. So let's go ahead, click that, and you will see the new editor. So first, to get started, before we get into the actual editor, I wanted to show you guys around here first, give you a little quick tour of what you're seeing on this screen. So over on the left-hand side, we have these new themes and templates that Hank briefly mentioned. These serve as a great starting point if you're just looking for inspiration or you don't know where to start. You don't have, the great thing about these is you don't have to use them as is or verbatim. You know, you could customize them, remove things, take things away. I'll show you how to do that in a second, but let's just see. There are a lot of seasonal templates. There are great generic starting points. Maybe you know, like this one, maybe it doesn't pertain specifically to your business, but maybe you like the images or you like the look and feel. And then as you saw here, once I clicked the theme, this side panel changed and you can see that this theme actually translates across 12 different layouts. So you can click into all the different layouts and see how this theme translates across different use cases that you might be looking for. For this example, I'll just click on this last e-commerce 3. It has the most elements. This is the most complex layout that we have, so it'll just be good to show you guys how you can kind of customize this based on adding and removing different things. And so you can always go back and forth between themes and layouts if you want to click on a different one. And then over here, you can click the different views. So if you want to see what it looks like on desktop view, and then also on mobile is good to see as well. And so for the demo, we'll start from blank, but just while I'm giving you guys a quick tour, we'll just go ahead and use this theme. So I'll click next, and now we're inside the editor. And so before I kind of get into how you can customize this theme and make it your own, I just want to give you a quick tour of what you're seeing here first. And so when you get into the editor, this right-hand side is really what you'll be using to create your email. And so you're always going to start out with rows because rows are basically the backbone and the structure, basically like the skeleton of your email. And so you need to drag rows onto the canvas first, and then you can fill it with different content blocks and start adding in the elements of your email. And so for example, you just saw me drag a single row. We have up to a 4-column row, and then you could just drag and drop different elements, and you'll see how this side panel will also change as you drag and drop elements onto the page, and this will allow you to customize that content block. So for example, there's an image, all the different image properties, and obviously as we go through the demo, you'll get a much better feel. I'm just, you know, giving you a quick tour right now. But then this last option here is for the theme panel settings, and what's great about this is you can set all the overall settings for your email on this panel. So you, like, let's say all the settings that you want your body text to have. If it's a pretty uniform email, you can set all of that from the theme over here. So if you want all of your headings to be this font size, and then maybe all the buttons in your email, you want to have a specific style or a specific link style for everything. That way you're not, you know, going into each section and, you know, doing individual text settings and stylings for each block. And so those are the 3 main parts of the side panel that I want to show you guys, and getting into here. So for your text, toolbar will appear up at the top here when you click into any text field. And this will give you all your options for styling, formatting, and customizing all the text within your message. And so, like I said before, I just want to show you guys how you don't have to use the themes that we have as is, and you could kind of take things away or add things as you see fit. So as you hover over each part of an email, you'll see these quick little shortcuts, as Hank mentioned. So this one right here is just the drag and drop handle. It'll allow you to move things and drag and drop them if you want to reorder different elements. This icon will allow you to duplicate. So maybe you have an email that has similar structures or a similar row that you just want to swap out an image or swap out the text. I have an example of that coming up, and you'll see that as we do the demo, but you can just click and it'll easily copy everything you did. And then this last one here is just to quickly delete stuff. So if you no longer need anything, or maybe for a theme, let's say you don't like this, you don't need this, and there's a lot of rows here, you can delete stuff. You can change the text to learn more, and just make the theme your own depending on the use case of your email and the message you're trying to get across. And so let me see. Let's actually go over some of the tools that we have here because I think that'll be beneficial too. So you guys got a pretty quick feel of the editor, and up top we have some tools. You can save this as a new template. So let's say you are creating similar type of emails every single month. Like maybe you send a monthly newsletter and it's basically the same style and format, and maybe you just change the greeting or the text every month. A good idea would be to save it as a new template, and then you can access that saved template on the previous screen where we show all the themes, and that way it'll save you time, and it'll be right there for you to customize every time you need it. So it's easily accessible. And then I would say you should always preview and test your email. That way you can just see what it looks like in mobile or on the desktop before you send it out. And so over here is how you could see the different views. So currently it's in the desktop view. And then just to make sure before you send the email, just make sure everything looks good in mobile, everything looks the way you want it to before you're good to go. And I think that should be it for just our quick tour. So I will pass it back to Hank.
Well, that was
All
great. I
right.
think you did a great job of just showing us really quickly how to actually use the editor. But you're going to see a lot more of that, folks, when Alexa gets into this 5-minute challenge that I'm going to
Yep.
describe in a second. You'll see her using the actual product in action. Now, given it's going to go a little bit fast, she's going to go through and try to build an email that I'm going to pick for her, and she's going to try to do it 5 minutes or less. But then we're going to take a look at it afterwards and look at it and dissect it a little bit more. And that's where we can definitely slow down a little bit and kind of talk about what we did with that email. Don't get discouraged if you see Alexa going pretty fast. Now, I fully encourage you to cheer her on, let her know how great she's doing, tell her how awesome she is by creating this email in under 5 minutes. It's great that happened with Chad. We were able to keep him going, keep him energized, and almost like, a marketing person on your team. Sometimes you just need that little extra encouragement. But what I want to do is I'm going to go to the next slide, and we're going to go ahead and talk about what we're going to do. What we're going to do is I'm going to choose a layout. I have two that are on here. What we want to do is try to recreate the look and feel of the example. Now, I'm not expecting her to get every font nailed, and there might be reasons why we may or may not want to use the exact font. We'll probably use images that we have in our library, right? And it just won't look exactly the same, but we want it to look similar. And then I want you folks to decide if she succeeded or not. Maybe she would have just needed another minute or two and it would have looked perfect. But did she succeed in the challenge? Let's take a look at the first one. All right. So here's one that's kind of relating to spring, right? It's hopefully going to start warming up soon, and we're going to push the clocks ahead in a couple of weeks. And I figured let's do something kind of with spring in mind and some bright colors and nice clean layout, and it allows us to really see what the editor can do. So with that, what I'm going to do is hand it back over to you, Alexa, and you're going to get the editor up. And then what I want to do is you tell me when you're ready, and I'm going to set my clock for 5 minutes. I'm actually getting that up on my iPad here. It's ready, and then we'll start the clock. And if you want to, you can talk about what you're doing while you're doing it. But the goal here is
Okay.
to create the email to look similar to what we see on the screen. Keep this in your mind, folks, because this is what she's going to recreate. So let me go ahead and pass back over. All right, you guys ready? I think this is going to be awesome.
All right. Wait, don't start yet.
All right, no, I didn't start yet.
Oh,
I got 5 minutes on the
okay.
clock. As soon as you're ready, and folks, I really want you to cheer her on.
Yeah, definitely. I would appreciate the love. I think things like this, it's funny because I feel like I'm a pro at this already, where I've done this a million times. I'm always in the editor, but anytime you add, a countdown or like a clock to this, I definitely feel the pressure. All right. So like I said, we're going to start from blank for this. I think this is a good one to start out with. I have the example here just so I can refer back to it and just, so we could go back and forth and take a look at what I'm supposed to do. I think this is a good one to start out with just because it is a little bit simpler, easier, so that, we don't just jump into something complicated, and we can help you guys get used to the basics first. And like Hank said, I think it's a good example. It's definitely relevant because it's, spring is upcoming. It's a newsletter. Maybe it inspires you guys to maybe use some of these things in an email that you try out to create. So this should be fun. All right, Hank, I think I am as ready as I'll ever be
All
for one
right.
of these.
Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Get started.
Okay, so taking a look, this actually looks pretty simple. I think we could just use one row for this. So remember how I said before, we're just going to start out dragging and dropping rows first and then content blocks. So we had a couple of images for the logo, and then we had some text and a button. And what I'm doing first is building out the structure, and then I'll worry about the details afterwards. And then we had another image. I also have another screen up just so that I'm not, going back and forth with you guys, so that you can focus on what I'm doing in the editor. So if you're wondering why I'm not going back and forth between tabs, that's why. And then let's see, we have
You brought
another.
notes to a test.
I know I'm cheating. I'm sorry. I'm a cheater. I don't like to lose. All right. And then, okay, so now let's just start customizing a little bit. So I'm gonna add in my logo first. Let's see. I have my logo here. My fake company, Blue Cheese Ranch. It's my go-to. We can talk about the backstory on that another time, guys. But
I like it.
so we have, see, a header. Spring is here. Let's celebrate. And so, oh, actually, like I said, let's try and use some of the things I talked about. So the theme settings. So let's make this a gray color. That's what it looks like. And then I'll make this 48 and 2.
I hear
Let's
dog
try.
cheering you on.
Yeah, that's my dog. Can you guys all hear that? He's probably mad because I'm not able to give him attention right now. Being spoiled. So let's see. Let's do this.
You have
And
two and
then
a
we'll
half
use.
minutes left. Well, a little over that.
Oh my gosh, that was fast.
I was
Okay.
watching what you're doing. I forgot to give you your each minute warning.
I know, Hank, come on. Trying to sabotage me. All right, let's put button color, make this yellow over here. If you have the hex code, you can also paste that in easily. And then I'll use this to drag all the way to the right to make it round like we have it in the example. Change the text again. What does this say? Order now. Customize that. Add another photo for donuts. Something springy.
2-minute warning.
Fine. Okay. 2 minutes, geez. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you guys. What would be easy is so for the copy and pasting. So let's go to caption content block, select an image, and then let's start writing. How much time do I have again?
A little over a minute and a half.
Oh my gosh.
It's not as easy as it looks, but yet using the editor is easy.
Tray. Jeez, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
any marketer would be happy to finish an email in 5 minutes.
I know. It does take time, I will say that. Okay, and then the last part is that link they had. And this will make, well, the link. We'll do example.com.
55 seconds.
Oof.
What do you think, folks? Think she's going to make it?
My gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Let's copy and paste here. Switch the format down here.
Look at that.
That way I have some of it done. And then the social drag at the bottom, customers on a little later.
A
I think the black.
little later is 28 seconds.
Okay, LinkedIn, Instagram. Let's see, Instagram, or Facebook, LinkedIn. Perfect. Okay, maybe I can add some, clean this up and add some spacing. 20,
10,
21, 10.
5.
No.
All right, the time is officially up. I think you did pretty close.
No.
But what we want to do is see how well you did so far, and then
Okay.
then we can continue to make it look close. What do you think, guys? Do you think she did pretty good on this? But let's
Uh,
preview it as it is before we start doing any more.
okay, okay. All right. Let me see. Oof, I'm even a little
And
embarrassed.
the
I
audience is
think
quiet. I don't know what they're thinking. What do you think,
five.
guys?
Maybe once we go over a nicer version of this.
All right, so I think it looks decently close, but we can go
Yeah.
back in and clean it up some more and show folks, hey, with a couple more minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, we can actually make it look a lot better.
Okay. So do we want to go back to the same exact one?
Yeah, let's just keep editing this one if you want. Whatever's easier
Okay.
for you. Lewis said better than me. I guess saying it, you're doing better than he could.
Thank
Uh,
you.
but Lewis, after some practice, I think that you can really do good with it as well.
Yeah,
Alexa is our product
exactly.
visionary. She lives in the editor. Therefore, it's like me doing something that I know a little bit about. It'll take me 10 times as long, but if you just practice, you can cut that learning curve down.
Exactly. Yeah, it just honestly takes like you getting into the editor and actually using the editor the way you would when you're going through the full workflow of creating an actual email. The more you do that, the more you'll get used to it, you'll get the hang of it, and then you'll really see how beneficial this new editor is and how much you can actually bring to your email campaigns using it. So it does take a little bit of a learning curve, but I promise if you just keep using it, it will get a lot easier. All right, for this
Joanne said,
one,
beautiful, good job. Hannah said, yay, great job.
so thank you guys. Thanks for the love. Okay, see. Right now I'm just adding spacing. So like I talked about before, you'll see every time you click into one of the content blocks, you have all the properties where you could customize the element that you dragged onto your canvas. And so I'm just adding spacing just to give these a bit of breathing room. As we see here, there's some spacing just to help it look cleaner, have it be a little bit easier to read as well. So I'm going all the way down
And I liked
to the
how you were
bottom.
able to just duplicate the blocks or the rows and then go in and flip, the image to the right side and keep the other one. Therefore, you can just change out the images in your text. It just makes the workflow so much more optimized.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I really liked this example that we had because it's very simple and some that's actually an upcoming trend in email and a best practice to have it be simple, easy to read. There's a main call to action here. They clearly want you to order now. It's also optimized for mobile because it's a single column email. So that's why I like this one. It was great to start out with just to kind of ease you guys into it. I'm sorry that I wasn't fast enough, but I promise
Well,
I'll try a lot harder next
some people
time.
are saying that you might be going too fast, but the point of this is that you can develop professional looking emails pretty quickly with the editor. There's a couple folks, I
Hmm.
think two folks asked, about it is going so fast and it's a little hard to follow. Now, we'd be happy to give you a one-on-one demo and go through the details of this if you want to. Just contact either support or your customer success manager. We'll definitely walk you through that. Um, we're getting a lot of great questions. We're going to get to those questions and we'll dive back into the editor with the questions to show you. But we definitely just want to get the second
Hmm.
one done as well, just to show you the power of the editor. I'm hoping that you can actually meet the 5 minutes on this one coming up.
Oh gosh, the next one looked pretty complicated, but maybe because I got a good feel for it this first time, maybe I'll be a lot faster. I'll do less talking, guys, and I'll do more email editing. All right, what do you want to do, Hank? Should we move on to the next one. That way, I guess after we complete both of them, then we could dive a little bit deeper into details on how to make it look a lot closer to these examples.
Yeah, let's do that because we are getting a lot of great questions. And if we were to go through each question, we would just never leave this template and we probably would not even have enough time. I think we can knock out
Mm-hmm.
some of the similar questions because it looks like there's some duplicate questions from folks. So let's go
Okay.
ahead and flip it back to me and let's show them the second one.
Alrighty.
Folks, just bear with us. We'll get to Q&A, and there's a lot of great questions, and we definitely want to make sure you know how to use this editor, and that's our goal today too. But I also want to make sure I'm challenging Alexa and giving her the opportunity to show off her skills and the editor's power, which is something that for me is understated. I think it's so great to be able to go in and create something so quick, and it's just so easy to use compared to some other editors I've used in the past. So here's the second one. It's kind of like a welcome email, and definitely you should be sending a welcome email as soon as somebody joins your email newsletter list, so you can set those expectations of when people are going to receive emails from you, how often they're going to receive them, and let them know that they can unsubscribe. This one's kind of pretty cool looking. It's got the navigation bar at the top. It's got the pre-header text logo, and a lot of images, and it's got text on images, which we want to show you the power of that. Alexa, burn this into your memory. You have the example. Let's go ahead and get started with this one. I'm going to go ahead and pass this back over to you. And we're going to create this one, folks. This one's coming right up.
I will get back into the editor. So this one is definitely a little bit more complex, but it'll give us a good chance to show you guys how you can use these features a little bit more in depth, a little bit more advanced features versus, the simple one column and clean, simple, mobile friendly example that we just showed you previously. So let me start from
All right, let me know when you're ready so we can get the timer. No cheating.
Okay, hold on. Let me just look at this. Okay.
It's almost like I'm your manager. I'm saying, hey, we got to get an email out today. Can you get one done in 5 minutes?
God. Okay.
You ready?
I guess I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right, folks, cheer her on, and we're going to get started in 3, 2, and 1.
All right. So we're going to do this again. Start with maybe I'll try something different and try and fill these in a lot faster. So choose mine. Now that I know this is on this page, select my thing over here. Add a divider like we saw. This one, like it was the latest. So again, I'm going to cheat with this copy and paste to create the navigation bar in the email. Okay, what do we have next? Another text row.
I don't call it cheating. It's just being smart.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, make the challenge. Don't want to be another loser. All right, so here I'm going to be using a background image for a row to achieve this look. Let's see. Let's do this. Oops. Uh-oh. Technical difficulty. This can't count against me. All right.
3 minutes, 45 seconds.
Oh, man. Okay. 3 minutes.
We should have did a 10-minute challenge, to be honest.
I know. I saw someone was sharing that. Great feedback. I agree. There's a lot of pressure riding in 5 minutes. Okay. So now enter. Thank you for joining. The spelling is not on point today. Joining the VCR newsletter. VCR newsletter. And then we'll do more text here. We'll customize that later. Then there's another row. Let's see, text again. And then, let's see, this looks like a 3-column row for pictures. image, duplicate,
2.5
and
minutes.
then 2.5. Still on the structure, guys. Ugh, definitely note to self. Note to Hank, give me a little bit more time next time. Okay, new column. And then we'll do collage block. We'll do, let's see, 4 images. Let's do that. Duplicate, drag.
2-minute warning. I almost not want to
Okay.
say something, but you need to know.
I mean, I appreciate the warning. Let's see. Let's just do this. Delete, drag into social, and then duplicate again. Drag down there. Okay, so at least we have some of the stuff. Let's do. Okay, so let's try.
Getting some good questions. Keep them coming, guys.
Let's do this one because I want to show you guys at least the photo editor in action. So I'm going to crop this. And then I'm going to use the filters that way so we could get that this look of like adding text on top of an image. So I want the text to show up, so I'm just going to decrease the contrast a little bit, make it a little bit darker so that the text is easy to read.
1 minute.
Oh gosh. Well, this is valuable, so I guess it's okay. Shipping and return. Oops. Shipping and returns. Excuse me. Change font, make it blue. Okay. And
30 seconds. What we'll do is at the end of the time, we'll just let you keep going on this one.
Select that one. Okay. And follow BCR on Instagram.
10 seconds.
Enter. Definitely choose a green bold.
And the official time is up. I do applaud you on your efforts so far, but let's just keep going. We can see it's kind of looking like the template, but it looks like we do have some more work to do. So this is probably more of a 10-minute template, but let's just keep going and keep those questions coming, guys.
Sure. Okay, so we'll keep on going. All right, let me just look at what it's supposed to look like. Yikes, sorry guys. Gotta brush up on my speed skills, I think. I also did see a question about someone asking how to link an image. So that would be in the properties. So you see this button here, when I click on this image, adding a link, and then you just type in the URL and you can save that. For text links, let's see. Oh, there's a good example down here where it has like, to ensure you receive our newsletter, please add this email to your address book. So let's say newsletter ECR ECR.com. So you just highlight the text and then you click this hyperlink icon and you can either send it to a URL like you previously saw, or you can actually link it directly to an email address. Alexa, well, that's my personal email, so won't use that. And you can already set like a subject and fill in some text or anything for the person if you want to have that ready made already. And then you just save, and that's how you link text by using this text toolbar up here. Okay, so black and white. Let's see, let's add more of these images in here. We'll just do a couple of these before. Let's see. Select. And I did just want to say for how this looks here, there was actually different ways that you could have done this. I chose to use collage block because I was trying to keep in mind I wanted to show you guys this feature, how you could use it, and depending on what you want to do with mobile, it would keep these four together as a unit if we use it this way, as opposed to you could have also done a 4-column and added 4 different images and just duplicated that row. But I chose to just, for this example, I chose to use the collage block, but you could do it in a number of different ways. And let's see. Okay.
I don't think you have to fill out the whole collage there. We can kind of, I guess what it would look like, but just make sure everything else
Yeah.
is looking kind of similar. But it's starting to really shape up to look like the example. You got the text over the image there. You got your nav bar, you would link that. Then you got your image with the text that you put on it. So it kind of looks a
Right.
lot like the example, just not fully flushed out there.
Yes. So with that being said, though, Hank, do we want to reveal our secret
Yes.
and show everyone what this should look like?
Alexa did actually build these ahead of time, and we're going to show you the finished product.
Confession.
Then we'll get into Q&A because it looks like there's a lot of great questions.
Yes, because I did just want to, well, one, I don't like being a loser, so I did just want to show you guys I do have design skills. I can do this if I had a little bit more time. And I wanted to be able to really show you guys the power of this drag and drop editor, how close you really can get to it. And so I did have some ready-made ones. So let's start with this one since it's top of mind. So first, let's look at the example that we found. So it looks like this. And then mine, once I had a little bit more time to format things properly. So this one looks a lot better.
It
because
does.
it's
It looks
actually
great.
a lot closer. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hank. Appreciate the love.
Virtual round of
I will,
applause.
oh, thank you. Pat on the back. So I will say, as you guys can see, like I chose to use web safe fonts for this email, whereas some of these aren't web safe fonts necessarily. It just depends on what you want to do. I chose to use web safe fonts just because sometimes some email clients might not render the font in the same way that you might select from the toolbar. So for example, sorry, I'm stumbling over words today. My words are all like jumbled up today. But for example, Oswald might look a little bit closer, right? But I chose to use Arial because it's a web safe font. And that way I know what will show up in all inboxes across all email clients.
It looks great.
And so, thank you. And so, do we want to go through any, like some questions on this one before we go on the final product or of the other one?
Well, flip back to me for a second. I want to give folks the support information before we get lost into
Okay.
questions, because we're going to have to flip back to you for the editor anyway. Folks, what we're going to do is going to bring up the slide that talks about support and how to reach out to support if you need to get any of your questions answered that you think of later that we don't cover today. And yeah, here it comes. So basically, email support@campaigner.com. The phone number is 1-888-845-4544. And then there's the international number if you need it as well. Keep that in mind. Take a screenshot of this, or also in your account, you have the help portal. You have the contact information for support there. But support@campaigner.com is the email address, and then there's the phone number. We'd be happy to help you with anything coming up. And with that, let's go back in. Let's look at the second one because I'm anxious to see that, and then we can go into the questions because there's going to be some hands-on items that we need to talk about in the editor.
This one was actually a lot easier to create. It was super simple because it was just 1-column row. So again, I chose to use web safe fonts, but again, oh, for this, I actually want to share this idea. So as you can see here, how this person has this cute, like cool little effect around ideas. I wanted to recreate the same thing, but I did that with Photoshop, but you could use a background image on a row to achieve something similar. So that's what I did for this. So this wasn't an effect, but I used a background image over here. So you see this toggle, and then I just added a background image to a normal row. And then you can see here, even got a pretty similar donut picture.
I like that.
Pretty close, I would say.
It looks really awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
I think you might get some job offers from folks on the webinar.
Oh, thank you. Well, yep, let me know.
All right, let's do this. Let's hop into the questions because there's a good deal of questions, and some of them I'll field and some
Okay.
of them you will. Ken is asking, are all the themes responsive? And he's talking about, I guess, all the layouts when you first start in. The answer is yes, they are. They have options to view it in both mobile and on desktop, and they are tested to work with mobile devices, tablets, as well as desktop. So that hopefully that
Yeah.
helps.
And just to add to that though too, I would say depending on like the text you add or additional effects, once you customize those themes, I would always preview in mobile before you send, just to make sure it does in fact look like the way you want it to.
And you can always use services like Email on Acid to see how it'll look on almost every single type of platform or email client out there. It's a great service to use. Bruce asks, I may have missed this in the beginning, but is there a library of available images and photos besides the images that we upload ourselves? No, currently we do not have any stock photos available. It is just what you upload. We can recommend free sites like Pixabay or Pexels. Otherwise, you can use like Adobe 123rf.com or Getty Images. You can pay for images there if you need to. All right, Lewis and Joanne, they were just cheering you on. Can Alexa show us how to hyperlink text and the images? I believe you went over that for Julie, but if again, you can
Oh,
just go over that real quick.
yeah, sure. So this is a perfect example. The order now is a link. So I'll just highlight it and then go to my text toolbar and, oh yeah, whoops, sorry guys. And even if you hover over it, it'll tell you too that it's a hyperlink. So if you just wanted to go to a normal link, it's already defaulted to a URL, or you have the options to link it to an email address like we saw, or a phone number, or you can link to a PDF or an image, which you would choose from your file library that you upload yourself. And so that is how you hyperlink text.
And you can also give that link a name for reporting if you wanted to really call it out in the reporting so you know at a glance what that actual link was instead of the actual link.
Right. So you could say like spring roll newsletter link.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Connie said, looks great for the time that she had. It'll probably take me a few hours to do that. So there's a little praise for you. All right. Vicky said, when formatting when formatting a click on a link, must we enter the greater than sign following the order now? Is it necessary?
No, not at all. This is just a styling preference for the person who created this email, and just for, recreating this example, I added it in, but in no way you have to add this to a link. It could easily be this. I also changed the theme formatting because there is an option to show underline for links. So if that's what you prefer, you can do that. But just for this example, I removed that and added this. Oh, well, I deleted it, so it removed the link from that portion, but you can add, different styling or however you want to format it, but nope, that's not required.
Awesome. Hannah said, not sure if you already mentioned this because she missed the first few minutes. Is there a template that can do two columns of text? Example, if I wanted to list courses, for example, trying to think of redesigning our existing template, basically two columns of text. There are layouts that probably have something like that, but even just dragging your own columns in would be a way to do that.
Yeah, so if you want to use a theme, you could, use that theme and delete different elements to make that happen, or you could also just drag a row that has two columns and then text, and duplicate, and then you have your 2 columns of text.
Awesome.
I don't know if that helps. Let me know if you have a
Yeah,
follow-up
Hannah,
question
hopefully that
around.
helped you. All right, Regine's, it would be nice if it wasn't done so fast here. We're taking some time now to show everyone. Hannah is curious if the new drag and drop feature, when it was implemented about 4 to 5 months ago, I think it was. And person has been waiting for this. So great, awesome.
Great. Well, I encourage you to try it out today. Maybe create some draft emails of your own. Play around with it. Let us know what you think.
And Brian's saying this is the second time that we failed at hitting the 5 minute window. We should probably
Uh,
increase the time. Yeah, we definitely thought of
yes,
that, but we just think it's
we
fun to
know.
kind of really work under pressure and do that. And we've come really close in the past. And today we picked some pretty long emails, but yeah, I think Alexa did a great job. But appreciate it, Brian. You definitely keep calling us out if we don't do something right, especially with the product. Give
Yeah,
us
good
product
call.
feedback.
I
We need to hear
agree.
it.
I could have done this in 10 minutes, Hank. I just want to make that clear.
I didn't want to make it easy for you because then it wouldn't have been a challenge. All
That's
right, so Julie just wanted to know about stock photography. As we said, that's not currently available, but we'll definitely put the product um, feature request in for that. And Greg said the new editor is much better to step in the right direction, and then you did great.
Thank you.
Anita said, usually the pre-header will say something like, click here to view the newsletter in your browser. Is that an easy
Yep.
way to get and figure out how to find or use that link? First, let me mention it's a bad strategy to put that as the pre-header because that's valuable real estate. Think of your subject line getting the attention in the inbox, and it's usually bold. Then you have your pre-header. To me, that's like what Robin is to Batman. It's a great pair, and it helps get the open. The pre-header is an extension of your subject line, so you want to use that real estate effectively. You can use the cannot view this email elsewhere or below your pre-header, but let's go ahead and show them how to add a pre-header to the email. And actually, the pre-header in here is if you go to the send, it's actually in there. You can put it in email so people can see it, but you can also do that in just the
Right.
send settings.
Right, yeah. So you could do it as like, a block of text if you want to just have it be the first row of text in your email, or hold on. So, oops. Here.
Yep, right there. You put the pre-header in. It won't be visible in the email, but it actually shows up in the inbox like magic. So it just depends on what you want to do. We allow you to use merge fields and emojis there. Emojis are widely accepted in almost all email clients these days, so we encourage those. But there's some simple ones there, or you can use your own. Hopefully that helps. All right, Vanessa said, I was playing around while you were doing the demo. Congrats on multitasking. Editing an
Thank
image,
you.
but it won't let me save my changes. Is there something I was doing wrong? So I'm not sure if you're talking about you were editing the image and the image wasn't saving, or if it was the email. The email should be automatically saving, then there's a save
Um,
button, but maybe I think it was really in relation to editing an image and saving those edits.
yeah, I think I can shed some light on there. I think I know what you're talking about. So let me just do an example. So
And
we'll
while you're
say
doing that,
edit.
Greg's just asking how to get in touch with his customer success manager. Greg, I'll take a look into that and have them reach out to you.
All right, so let's just say maybe I'll just like do contrast. So if this is what you're talking about, it is a little tricky. This photo editor was actually an integration, so I'm hoping maybe they make some updates based on feedback we've sent over as well. But the way you do it, so if you make a change here, let's say like let's just increase the contrast, and the way you save it is hitting this back button first. It saves it here, as you can see, and then these buttons become available. So let me know if that's what you're saying. So again, um, the buttons show up because you've already made some edits in the past, but you just have to click the back button first, and then you can save the edits to override your existing copy or save as a copy so that you don't override your original version. So
Right.
let me know if that might help.
We have a question from Sandra. Actually, it's a lot of questions and it's very technical. Sandra, what we're going to do is
Oh,
follow with you after the webinar to get those addressed. But just want to let you know that was
okay.
heard. And Darren said, are all features compatible with Microsoft Outlook? Now that's a tricky thing.
Mhm.
Pretty much these are optimized for Outlook. And what I want to talk about is Outlook on Windows on the Mac. There's not a lot of issues like there's white lines that happen, which are called page breaks or sometimes cell padding. Then you have length, and then you have sometimes images or background images don't load on Windows Outlook for Windows as well. There's nothing any ESP can do for the most part unless you manually code your emails or add the code in for Outlook. And at times that still does not work. It's really a Microsoft Outlook for Windows issue. You can minimize those. We have them set to be at a minimum with our editor, but at times there might be some spacing if you're definitely using like background coloring in there, and then you have a couple different rows. There might be a white line that shows up. Again, Microsoft kept promising to fix this, but it's just a pain that every marketer has to go through. But we try to make them look as best as we can on Outlook.
Yes.
Danielle said, we have an external CMS/loyalty system. Is there a way to use a layout and build-in campaigner and copy and paste into the other system so the emails look consistent? So what you want to do, it sounds like, is take the HTML from what you're building in here and put it in your system. That is possible. You can go in and grab the code if you wanted to from the tools section there.
Oh, let me hear. So it would be export HTML.
Yep, right there. Copy it, and then you can put that into your own system if you want to.
Yep.
Vicky said, where are the images on file? Alexa appears to be selecting images from within Campaigner. Those were uploaded before the webinar. They were pre-added pretty much. So yeah, they were added and they were there in the library. And then Greg is asking, can we do a future webinar about using a new editor to create newsletters using the articles feature? Right now, the articles and dynamic content blocks are not available. They are coming soon. That would be a great idea to go over that at that point. But right now, you cannot add articles using this editor. But what you could do is copy the code, put it into the regular builder, and then add your other content there. Just make sure you're fully done in the drag and drop. All right. I uploaded an image, Vanessa says, and it doesn't appear, but it does appear when I go to edit it. Interesting. If you keep
Mm.
experiencing that, it's a contact support. They might be able to help you with that. Brian's asking, what's the maximum pixel width for the content block of the templates and why?
That one, I think we'd have to double check and get back to you on that.
We'll definitely do that. Usually 600 wide is the most you want to go, which is something we can definitely say. Bruce, we'll go over how to put text over an image or use an image as the background. I think you kind of did that, but if you want to look at that really quick again.
Yeah, sure. So so I guess for overall background of the email, you could just go into theme settings. You'll see this use as a background image toggle, choose an image. Let's just do this one. And oh, this is because it wasn't showing up because my content area width was set all the way to max, but let's say it wasn't. You could see that it shows up in the background, and you could also choose to tile it or change position. And then in terms of, what was the other question? Oh, background row.
Right, and you can also do colors, folks, if you want to just use colors too.
Yeah. So for the row, you just select, so instead of clicking into the content block, you'll just click the overall row. And then same thing, there will be a toggle for use a background image. And then you can just select one. Oops, I think I chose the wrong one. Sorry, guys. And the image tiling.
And while you're doing that, Jamin said, easy to use. I did it at the same time, but without images. Way to go.
think I'm doing something wrong here. Let's do this one.
Let's try just using a background color for that and see if that works. All right, there's the background color. I think it's just because, we just have some settings on there that are just not agreeing with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think it's just because I updated the theme settings first, so.
All right, let's see if we can get a few more done. We've got about a minute or so. Brian said he understands that Google is looking at allowing video to play through their Gmail product and gets availability in Campaigner tool to be released. And will our templates detect non-Gmail accounts and display an image? That's probably using Google's AMP, which right now, if you need to use AMP, you need to create 3 different versions of your email. One that has AMP coding, one that has fallback, and then a standard. So it's not going to be supported widely. I would say that for now, still use the thumbnail for the image and then have people click through, because a lot of other types of platforms do not support that yet. I would say use an animated GIF too to tease your video. That'd probably be the best way to go. Brian. Mariana wants to know if we can choose different font from what is showing up in there as a way to upload fonts. Right now, you can choose what we have. Those are web safe fonts. In other words, they'll display correctly in all platforms. You could export to HTML and add your own there, but again, there's danger of it not showing up correctly. Vicky says, do you have a listing to know which fonts are standard supported best email use? What's in the editor? And then you could probably just Google, web safe fonts, and they'll give you a listing there. Support team would also be able to help you. Is the 88 number valid in Hawaii or just continental US and Canada? Actually, I don't know. We'll have to follow up via email for you to let you know that. Let's see. I don't see where I can put a hex number when I need to change the font color. Where can I do that?
So it'll be right up here.
All right. And then also, how can I add non-standard fonts that our companies need to use? Again, that would have to be done in HTML. Sorry about that. How do we add a contact's name to to customize the layout? So there's the merge field option on the left side of the editor that allows you to merge in any standard or custom fields. So you do like dear and then bracket for the first name, and there you go, customized. That's for Mariana.
Sorry, the font is so bad.
We probably will not get through these. We'll stay on for a little while and see if we can get folks answered here. We still have a lot of people on. A lot of my emails are single JPEG that has all the graphics, text, etc. done. Is there a template with just a single picture? I find myself having to delete all the columns and rows. I would start from scratch, and that'd be your best way to do that. And then move over a single row and then put in your image. I would hesitate if you are using just one big image for your emails not to do that, because it's probably going to be labeled as spam more than not. You want to use the 60-40 rule, 60% text, 40% image. It will allow you to get into more inboxes. That was for Eric. Hannah said, thanks for the information from earlier. Follow-up question for the columns of text. I could do several rows of text in each column, correct? I believe up to 4 is what you can do, and they are adjustable. All right, so Joanne said, due to my audio going out, how we get a copy? We are going to send it out via email to everyone, Joanne. Hannah says, just copy more rows into each column, I'm assuming. Yeah, we just use the actual row, and there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, so you could choose one that has up to 4.
Well, I think what she's asking, because she was the one who was asking about the 2 columns of text. And so, yeah, you could, if you just want to add more, sections of text, you could just duplicate the text. Sorry, now this email looks ugly. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right. Brian said the product is great. He's used it to make custom templates, and it works fantastic. So thank you. Nita's, thank you. Brian says, where do we add the personalization or information from a database? I believe we just went over that with the injection of the merge fields. Doing good here. All right, Vanessa said, thanks for the information on the back button. It wasn't intuitive, but now images can be saved. Bruce says, how do you change the size of an image once it's been placed in the layout? There is a little slider that Alexa can show you.
Hold on. Do I have a good image? Hold on. over here, and then you just drag and drop if that's what you mean.
Yep, that's an easy way to get it resized with the, right in the editor there. Otherwise, you could probably
Yeah.
do it further outside. Jameson, anyway, dropped PDF files can be edited with all the functions that Campaigner has. No, not currently. You can just link to PDFs right now. Hannah said, to clarify, when using drag and drop editor templates, you can still go in and edit HTML if we need to, correct? Yes, you can go and move them over to the HTML editor, copying and pasting, but just keep in mind they are no longer drag and drop functionality after you do that. So you just want to make sure that everything that you're doing with the drag and drop is done, and then go in and customize it with HTML. Greg says, can you create a newsletter template, then just link to the hosted article page? There may be a way to do that. I would contact support. It'd probably be your best way. And Mariana said, thank you. And we did get through everything. We are 4 minutes
That's
over, but almost
great.
everybody stayed. But we'll follow up. I know there's a handful that we need to follow up with. I know I really challenged Alexa with 5 minutes, but really it was just to have some fun, have some dialogue, and get a sense of, of that. I need to get this done. I need to do it really quick, like
Yeah.
all marketers feel, right? It's like always coming down to the
Yeah.
wire. But just know that
Yeah.
our editor is so easy to use. I want to thank everybody for being on. And more importantly, Alexa, thank you for taking your time to come in and show us how to use the editor today.
Yeah, thank you guys. So I hope that you guys feel confident enough to try this out for yourselves if you haven't already, or just take, 10, 15 minutes, maybe try and recreate just like one section of an email that you like. Just start getting a feel for this new tool.
Contact us if you have any questions. Support
Yeah.
at campaigner.com, 1-888-845-4544. If you have a CSM or an account manager, reach out to them. If you want one, contact us as well. We'll definitely help you out, have you sending emails that matter. This way your business feels supported. And we love doing these webinars, and keep in tune for our next webinar, which will be decided on shortly. And with that, thank you everyone for joining us today, and happy marketing.